Oh, I thought it was a picture. No, I knew it was a video. Welcome to the Elements of Spirit readings for the week of December 10th, 2017. This is the reading for the element of Earth, which includes the sun sign of This Is Starting to Bug Me. It includes the sun signs of Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. And Virgo. If you haven't watched the Ether readings, go back and check them out now, but I'll give you a little primer. The Ether read this week was all about when I see something, I say something. I speak up on behalf of not just injustice, but I speak up on behalf of myself, on behalf of my own feelings, how I feel, what I'm having strong feelings about. Plenty of people feel fine about expressing their feelings, whether they're right or wrong. The idea here is that all the problems are real, all the solutions are valid relative to those problems. Right should win, but it won't. Not if wrong is fought for harder. It will still win, but it will take longer. So how do you fight harder with your truth is you don't do it by screaming louder. You do it with more love. And you do it, how do you do it with more love? You're always checking yourself for exclusivity, right? You want inclusivity. You want everyone to be welcome. You never want to have to walk away. You never want to have to walk away from an argument, right? Wouldn't it be better to sort of stay put and find a flaw and just lovingly radiate? That doesn't sit right with me. Sorry. I am an idealist, I suppose, but there's something here. And I also do believe that sometimes you just have to walk away, right? Don't want to get into fisticuffs. But the message behind the reading, not my opinion, but the message behind the reading this week is when I see something, I say something. If there's smoke, there's definitely fire, right? So if I see something and I don't say something, then my voice is not being added to the chorus, right? The sort of like American Idol vote of what is right and what is not, what is the, it's not a moral absolute. It's not even necessarily a moral high ground. It's like a moral consensus, ultimately, right? If you don't add your voice to the moral consensus, then there might be a bigger consensus than the one that your voice gets morally lent to, right? So how does that manifest for the Earth children? How funny. Well, it's funny because I said to you guys, like, don't walk away, but I was wrong. That's how you know. It's not my opinion. The read is be an earth angel. Move on to the next piece of love business. So my understanding of angels, right, your earth creatures, is that they are both they're sort of like the messengers that fly along the lines of love. And they do the heavy lifting, they do the dirty work, but they relay, they send, they transmit love and prayers, ultimately, right? So the idea is that they're only interested in working with love. They're not interested in working with coercion or with, negativity or with, restriction. It's more so, if it were restriction, it would be loving restriction, loving negativity. There would always be the predominant quotient of love behind the frequency of angelic support. So the idea here is actually for you guys to draw a circle around yourselves and say, for the next course of the next week, I only deal in love. If it is less than loving, I reserve the right to walk away. If it is loving and then masquerading as if it is something that seems loving but is really just something masquerading as love, right? Coercion, power struggles, dynamics, toxicity. Y'all get to practice and must practice and should practice walking away, and but not like, fuck you, I'm out of here. Like, it's actually the vibe of I have more important places to be. There are other prayers that need to be answered. There are other spaces that I can be sharing. So really, it's giving me Christmas party vibes of like being a hostess and not a guest, no matter where you are, flitting from flower to flower to flower, never spending more than a few moments with, with whomever you're spending time with, and ultimately reminding, recalibrating, and serving to orient yourself to be a do-gooder, right, for the season, to be one who does good and to be one who works in the name of love and who is giving oneself the freedom to only engage in love, and who is giving others the benefits of encountering one who is only engaging in love. And most importantly, tied to the when I see something, I say something, right, vibe of the ether this week, it's that you will then be able to be advocates for creating boundaries based on love, right? You'll be able to be advocates that say, oh, no, I can't talk to you anymore because I can't expose myself to this frequency anymore because I have more important things to do. Thanks. It's really nice to meet you. I'll see you next time, right? It's basically like, oh, what you then get to do too is you can become an advocate for loving boundaries. So you can by practicing this over the course of the next week or through the rest of the season, you can become an advocate for people who don't understand how to engage in love or how to disengage from not love, right? There's something about you guys being the leaders that teach the agency of this is what it looks like to bear down, this is what it looks like to back off, this is what it looks like to come in contact with, to taste, to engage, to communicate, right? Which is the theme of the day. Here I come, I feel you, I am, magically going to connect to you because I'm a magical earth angel, so here we are connecting, now we communicate, and in the space of this communication, I assert that my feelings are based on unconditional love, and if not, I say no. So in a way, we can be, you guys can think of yourselves as the ones who are teaching no's relative to love, right? No, thank you. No, I'm good. There's even something here with you guys about like, someone was saying to me, they had conflicting obligations and they were like, no, I go to the same party every year that I eat too much at, but I'm going to say yes to this second obligation so that I can flit from place to place. And even if I feel a little overextended, I'm choosing to do this. I don't know why I'm telling you a story, except that it's a great example of in a yes, right? In a yes, also including a no, right? Like it's an empowered act of love on the part of my pal to say, I'm going to have to take a little bit away from this in order to say yes to that. I'm going to do both of them in love, and I'm going to move from place to place without eating too much, right? Without giving too much, without taking too much. I'm just going to try to stay contained and benevolent and open and loving and connected as much as possible. But whenever I don't want to be connected, my metric, my barometer is going to be love. Is this a loving space? Is there a loving exchange occurring here? Is there love in this exchange? And if not, you have the right to walk away. You also have the right to point that out. You also have the right to add some love to that exchange to the best of your ability. But the idea is that you are an earth angel that's vibrating on a super high frequency of love. Everyone that you come in contact with should either lift that love up or pull that love down, right? And love can't be fucked with, right? You can sustain that love throughout all of it. But the idea of how to make your decisions, right, about what to say, when to say it, or when you see something and you say something, when to go deeper, when to walk away, when to move in, when to step back, has got to be relative to this love. Okay. I am attuned to the frequency of love in action. I arrive. I arrive, I rest, I depart in love. Okay, so I'm attuned to the frequency of love in action. I arrive, I rest, I depart in love. I am attuned to the frequency of love in action. I arrive, I rest, I depart in love. So we talk about self-care a lot. This is almost like a self-preservation affirmation, right? Self-preservation affirmation, self-preservation affirmation of I am attuned to the frequency of love in action, in case you forget. So once you see something, when I see something, I say something. I'm attuned to the frequency of love in action. I arrive, I rest, I depart in love. I was hearing I alight or I stay, but no, it's I rest, because I arrive, I rest, I maintain peaceful, balanced composure and equilibrium, and then I depart in love, right? If the quotient of love is twerked or torqued or fricked with in any way, that's my exit. That's my exit. I'm out. So part of this with you guys, we've been talking about conflict management versus conflict resolution. You need to neither resolve nor manage conflict. Your goal is to protect, sustain, defend, express love, and to use, like an angel, the lines of loving engagement on which to travel. It's like helping you to court your course chart your course through love this week. That's what I got for you. If your course is charted in the direction of Orange County, teaching at Dragon and the Rose on the 13th in Santa Ana, and if your course is charted in the direction of Facebook Live on Saturday the 16th, my buddy John Hill and I will be doing Let's Get Mystical, our live cable access style call-in show where we spend time with you guys answering questions, twerking and kikiing. Johnny will be freshly back from doing a show in New York, so it should be fun. That's all I got for you. I love you so much. See you next week.